It's a new year, a new season, and we are underway.
Really dominating fashion here today is going to win.
2, 3, 4 for the final time.
Win number 1 of the season, only just barely.
He is going to win here at the Nazareth Speedway.
Wins the Emerson Electric 100K.
Gonna be Igor Barretto's gonna eke it out.
Cup Series champion is Shane Lake in the number 15.
Welcome to the NOFSRL.
The Pocono Mountains in eastern Pennsylvania play host to the first race of 2 this weekend for the Cabela Cup Series here at the Pocono Raceway in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. We are here at this 2.5-mile track aptly named the Tricky Triangle. 3 turns, 3 different challenges here. And this, the Wawa Pennsylvania 400. 32 laps around this 2.5-mile triangular track, and it is going to be a fun one for sure. After yesterday's qualifying session here, just prior to the Scots National Diamond Crystal 250, Ethan Lewis won the pole position, and he is going to lead the field here to the green flag in just a little bit. As far as your point standings go, Trey Smith comes into this one, leading the point standings by 18 over a tie with Will Parrish and Darian Arnsdorf there in second. Sam Osgen in fourth, he is 24 back. Roy Ribbleton is 30 back. Ben Crouch 35 back. Benny Watson 41 back. Eric Monaco 44 back. Jacob Thibodeau 46 back. Tyson Nicholas 49 back. It's going to be a good one here in Pocono. Let's go down trackside. We'll get you your starting lineup, and we'll get this pace lap started. And the engines come to life here at the Pocono Raceway in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. 42 good roll off the pit road here. It is Ethan Lewis going to lead us to the green flag from the pole position there. He is starting alongside the 27 of Andrew Williams. In row number 2, we find Ryan Durrani, Talladega winner earlier this season in the 34. He is starting alongside the 8 of Joey Hightower. In row number 3, we find Nathan Stapleton in the 97. He is starting alongside Atlanta winner earlier this season, Titan Nicholas. In row number 4, it's the 78 of Ben Brorich. He is starting alongside the 42 of Charlotte winner earlier this season, Christopher Reynolds. Rounding out the top 10, we find Kanan Biller in the 95. He is going to start alongside the 13 of RJ Rosero. That is the top 10 here for the first race of 2 in this Pocono doubleheader for the Cabela's Cup Series. And the Daytona winner last week in the AutoNation 400, Ethan Lewis is going to lead us to the green flag here in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. The man on his outside, really good at the flat, large tracks. Andrew Williams has a victory this season. It came at the Fontana, California at the Auto Club Speedway. And so he is going to be one to watch out for sure here in the Wawa Pennsylvania 400, and potentially tomorrow in the Independence 500 on 4th of July Sunday. Pace car getting ready to come down onto the pit road. We are ready to get this race started here as 42 cars come down the front straightaway. We're ready to get it started. Green flag is waving. The Wawa Pennsylvania 400 is green here at Pocono. Out of turn 3, it is going to be Ethan Lewis leading us back to the start-finish line. He leads lap number 1 ahead of Ryan Durrani. Andrew Williams falls to third as Durrani going to take a look at the inside of Lewis, heading off into turn 1, going to move him up the racetrack a little bit, and they're going to be side by side for the race lead out of turn number 1, headed down Long Pond straightaway. Williams there, Stapleton and Grorich battling for that 4th position now as the 78 gets to the inside of the 97, and Grorich is going to try to dive with the inside of Williams as well, looking for a 2-for-1 through the tunnel corner. And now Durrani's going to look to the inside of Lewis for the race lead, headed off into the flat turn 3, where you have to be on the inside line going around this turn. And Durrani is going to take the race lead away from that Velocity number 51, as we're seeing 3 and even 4 wide down this wide front straightaway. It is 7 lanes wide down this straightaway. Headed off into turn number 1 once again. Durrani pulling away from Grorich for now. Lewis settles into that 3rd position, and runner-up last season in the Hers Pennsylvania 500 here at Pocono. Kanan Biller already up to the 6th position there. He was really good last season in that 40-lap race. Now, obviously, with a Pocono doubleheader this season, he is going to be one to look out for sure here in Long Pond. Ethan Lewis going to take the dive on Grorich for that 2nd position, and he is going to take it back and look to chase down Ryan Durrani in the 34, who continues to lead. Grorich going to look at a crossover there, but Williams is already there on the inside, and Joey Hightower might go with him in that 8. And he will, and Williams looks like he's going to take that 3rd position away from Grorich, and indeed he will. Let's look deeper in the field. We'll see where your points leader, Trey Smith, is. There he is on the inside of a 3-wide cluster here. Ribbleton and Parrish on the outside of him. Parrish tied for 2nd in the points with Darian Arnsdorf. Arnsdorf right now is all the way up in 10th position. And with Trey Smith right now listed in the 31st position and Parrish continuing to fall back, we could see Darian Arnsdorf atop the point standings once again here in the Cabela's Cup Series. But meanwhile, a gap growing between Owen Miles and Boston Jones there, 14th to 15th actually, as Miles has gotten into that 14th position. And gaps starting to grow here in the field as they spread out. The top 4 stretching away from Brad Stover there. And now Ben Grorich going to look down low for the race lead on Ethan Lewis, headed off into the tunnel turn on lap number 5 here in the Wawa Pennsylvania 400. It's going to be Grorich with the nose advantage coming down the 2nd back straightaway with the dive into turn 3, and he will clear the 51. Will Hightower be able to get to the inside of Lewis? Yes, he will, actually, off of turn number 3. Hightower is there on the inside. At the line, they were just about even, but Hightower was in front of Lewis as they came across the line, and he's going to be well ahead of him as they go off into turn number 1. Lewis got to get to that inside line as quickly as he can if he wants to even have a shot at keeping within the grasp of trying to keep Joey Hightower and Ben Grorich within his grasp. There we go. So Ryan Durrani gets by him there for that 3rd position. And he is going to continue to fall back as Williams takes the dive into 3. Stover's going to get underneath, and Kanan Biller's right there as well. Disaster here on lap number 6 for Ethan Lewis. He slips from 3rd to 6th position. The pole sitter's going to have his hands full now for the rest of this one, no doubt about it. Caution free through the first 6 laps. Hightower took a look to the inside of Grorich there for the race lead. Not quite able to get it. And now Durrani might be able to get by him as they head down Long Pond straightaway. Headed off into the tunnel turn. Durrani will take the dive on the 8 of Hightower. This is a move Kanan Biller tried putting on Nick Kennedy for the win last season. Didn't work out for Biller. but it will work out as Durrani moves into that second position this time. Stapleton going to take the dive on Stover a little deeper here in the field behind Kane and Biller there. That's a battle for 7th on track, and looks like Stapleton is going to take it away from car number 48. Meanwhile, Gorge and Durrani continue to stretch away. Hightower, Williams, Lewis right there. Biller, Stapleton, Reynolds, Stover, Miles. That's the top 10 right now, as the field's starting to cluster up again until we get back to Stephen Colon here in the 98, 26th place, and then it spreads out a little bit more there until we get to this cluster. Eric Monaco, last car on track right now as we join back up. Race lead, Ryan Durrani is going to take it away from Ben Grurich heading off into turn number 3. Got back just in time to see that. Looked like that developed in the tunnel turn. Durrani got to the inside of Grurich going off into turn number 2, and he took it away from that 78. On to lap number 9 here of 32 in this Wawa Pennsylvania 400. First race of 2 this weekend in the Cabela Cup Series. Already had the Diamond Crystal 250 in the Scots National Series. Fabulous race that was. And we are seeing another one develop here at Pocono Raceway. Grorch closing in again on Durrani for that race lead. And Hightower's going to take a look at Williams. Looking for a dive, headed off into 3. He's got a big dive, and he is going to take that position away. Will Lewis get to the inside of the 27 as well? Or will he stay in that 5th position? He'll stay in 5th. As we look down the front straightaway once again, you see all the shuffling that goes around on the front straightaway. 7 lanes wide this straightaway. There's plenty of room to wiggle around before you get off into turn number 1, and that's when it gets treacherous. But everyone looks like they're minding their P's and Q's well right now, as Durrani continues to lead this thing ahead of Ben Grurich. Joey Hightower in 3rd, closing in on the 78, looking for a dive into 3. Not quite going to get it. He'll pull back in line behind the 78 for the time being. Andrew Williams looking to mount a charge in that 27. He's kind of right in between the gap between Hightower to Williams and then back to Christopher Reynolds. As the gap continues, the field continues to break apart here. Deeper, it looks like they're kind of starting to close back in on each other. But up front, they are definitely spreading out more. And it is singled out through the first 10 positions, looks like all the way back to Josiah Robinson, and even further on back till we get to this side-by-side with Kip Silverpoint and Roy Ribbleton. That is for 15th on track. Silverpoint's going to have a dive going off into turn 3. Looks like she will take that position away. Trey Smith going to take a position away from Arnsdorf, as Trey Smith quietly been moving his way up through the field. That is for the 12th position on track. Good turnaround from the start of the race for Trey Smith, as he's looking to hold on to his points lead here coming out of the Wawa Pennsylvania 400. Down Long Pond straightaway once again here on lap number 12. Expect the pit cycle here around lap 16 or so, 15, 16, so right about halfway. And depending on when they pit, would mean if they are able to make it to the end or not. So you're definitely going to want to come down to the tail end of lap 16 onward if they can. Anyone that doesn't make it to that, I don't think they'd end up winning this race. But Ethan Lewis started on the pole for this thing. He has continued to fall back. He is in 7th place now and is about to lose that position to Beverly Creed. as he'll now fall to the 8th position. And what looked like a solid start to the race is definitely turning out to be not what he hoped for. As for the race lead, just as we join back up with the front, Grorich with the dive on Durrani into the tunnel turn, and he takes that lead away from the 34, who looked a little squirrely coming out of the tunnel corner, and that's allowed Joey Hightower in the 8 to close in there in that Rock Car Racing Haas Mustang. But down the front straightaway once again, we're going to start lap 14 this time by in the Wawa Pennsylvania 400 presented by Valvoline. The top 6 have stretched away and are kind of in their own little group right now. Beverly Creed all by herself there in 7th. Jones, Robinson, as Lewis still trying to keep from losing positions. He is just trying everything he can to defend in just long enough to get to the pit cycle because he knows halfway is coming. That'll be the best time to come down and get fresh Goodyears and fill it up with Sunoco fuel. But he is slipping backwards at an alarming rate, now in jeopardy of losing 9th position to Josiah Robinson again, and he is going to lose that spot. Back to 10th goes Ethan Lewis as they come around to start lap 15 this time, just a couple laps away from halfway. As Durrani leads Hightower, and then Reynolds, Grorich, Williams, Miles, Creed, Jones, Robinson, Lewis. It might be Biller there cracking the top 10 in just a second if he could get by that 51. He definitely looks like he's got the car too, but he's got Stover and Silverpoint behind him challenging, and my goodness, big stack up there going off into the tunnel corner. Stover, Silverpoint, oh, touched. Oh, that was a nice save by both Silverpoint and Trey Smith. Headed out of turn 2 and down that second back straightaway. That was almost a big crash there. But now coming to lap 16, there's cars coming down to the pit road. Lewis is one of them. And it looks like Durrani was one of them too. Nicholas, Reynolds, Kukulon down on the pit road. Williams is on the pit road. Robinson, Arnsdorf, Rosero, Stapleton on the pit road, and we'll see if they came down too early, as they may not be able to make it to the end. We're coming around for halfway this time as Grorich and Hightower side by side for the race lead. Hightower trying to work the top, Grorich down to the inside, and Hightower looks like he's going to stretch away until we get to turn 3. And Grorich is still down there. He takes the dive into 3. He's going to take the race lead for now, but he will come down the pit road. Hightower and Miles stay out. We'll see if anybody else stays out. Samet Osgin does. Anybody else? We'll see everybody else staying out here more than likely, and it does look like that is going to be the case. Hightower and Miles and Osgin are the only ones that have not pit yet. There's Grorich on the pit road. Everybody else who was on the pit road has already come off. Ryan Durrani is ahead of them. There he is in the 34. So we'll take a look to see where Grorich comes off. There's Durrani circling turn 3. And Grorich coming off of the pit road, looking for that 34. There he is coming down the front straightaway. And Grorich will not beat the 34 out. So then we'll have to see what Hightower, Miles, and Osgin can do. Durrani stretching away from the 78. Reynolds and Creed right there. And now we wait to see what Miles, Hightower, and Osgin can do as Durrani makes his way around the tunnel turn. Grorich, Reynolds, Creed, Biller, the top 5 of this bunch, as we await the fate of the final 3. Osgin, Miles, and Hightower does not look like they're going to get up to speed in time. Although they might, Hightower's already off. But there goes Durrani for the race lead, and it's a huge lead for Ryan Durrani. Rorich, Reynolds, and Creed looked like they may have been held up there as they were trying to get around Joey Hightower, who settles down into 5th, Miles 6th, Robinson 7th, Arnsdorf 8th, Biller 9th, Williams 10th. And Creed taking a dive on Reynolds there for that 3rd position. And now potentially looking at 2nd on Ben Grorich there. The Hamill Racing Enterprises Barstool Sports Toyota gonna take a look to the inside of Grorich. Is she gonna be there coming out of turn number 3? Yes, she will be. But does she have enough momentum to stay side by side with that 78? Does not look like it. But on to lap number 19. Reynolds going to take a look down low on that 32 for that 3rd position once again, and he may take it. And indeed he will. At least for the time being, Creed got a good run on that top side as they're still door to door going down Long Pond straightaway. Creed with the advantage off into the tunnel corner. There was a 1.78 gap to the lead this last time through. 1.78 seconds from Durrani to Grorich. We'll see what it looks like this time as Durrani comes around. Grorich right there. You saw Durrani in view. And we'll see what the margin looks like this time as they come to lap 20. 1.45 seconds. So really, they just got to stay single file if they want to catch up to that 34. And Reynolds looks like he is giving Grorich the big hurry up there through turn 1. Down Long Pond straightaway. We'll see if Reynolds pokes out from behind the 78. And he is not going to do that. So it does look like they are playing the catch-up game right now. Durrani. Boy, that looks like it's less than a second now. They are catching quick. Yeah, Grorich is right there coming out of turn number 3. Boy, we are setting up for a fabulous finish here in the Wawa Pennsylvania 400. The gap 0.25 seconds as Grorich is there. Headed off into turn 1. And he is going to have the low line heading off into that corner. And sticking like a cat on Velcro on the inside, he takes the lead away from Ryan Durrani. Through turn 1, down Long Pond straightaway. It's just the two of them. Christopher Reynolds and Creed there in 3rd and 4th. They'll close in a little bit now on Durrani and Grorich as they battled for that lead. Biller a little squirrely there coming out of the tunnel turn. Hightower looking to take the dive underneath the McDonald's number 95. But up front, it is still Ben Grorich in the 78. Ryan Durrani 2nd. As we see Creed taking the dive on Reynolds, potentially headed off into turn number 1 here. As 11 laps to go here in the Wawa Pennsylvania 400 presented by Valvoline. And of course, the ones that came down early on the pit road, the ones that came down coming to lap 16, one's got to wonder, will they be able to make it to the end? We could be setting up for a fuel mileage finish here in Pocono. It has been caution-free so far, and I have absolutely no reason to believe it will not stay that way. I have absolutely no reason to believe that it will not. No reason to not believe it won't stay that way, because I do believe we'll go caution-free to the end of this thing. As Reynolds gets by for that 2nd position on Durrani, that allowed Grorich to pull away to a 0.38 second gap over that 42. Robinson in 3rd there. Creed going to move up to 4th as they're all training on the inside lane around Ryan Durrani, trying to get that outside lane to work on the 95 of Kanan Biller. Biller might have Hightower get to his inside. They're headed off into the tunnel turn. Hightower thought better of it as he is still side by side with Ryan Durrani. Now the top 5 singled out, stretching away from the rest of them. Spiller trying to get to the inside of Creed, and he is going to be there coming out of turn number 3. But will he have enough momentum to get around that number 32 Toyota? Absolutely not. Not even close. And Hightower is going to take advantage of that. And for the race lead, Reynolds and Robinson on Grorich, not quite able to get there. Still, all 42 cars are on the track. Nobody has fallen out of the race. The last car on track, Nathan Smith in the 84. 19.777 seconds off of the lead of Ben Grorich. Robinson in the 52 on the inside for second on Reynolds. Creed there looking for third. Hightower, Williams there as well. Through turn 3 and down the front straightaway. On to lap number 25 here in the Wawa Pennsylvania 408 laps to go here at Pocono. Seeing a tremendous average race speed of 162.549 miles per hour here. And we will see what happens here as far as fuel mileage goes. Will everyone be able to make it to the end? Or will those that came down prior to getting lap 16, will they need to come down? Durrani would be among them. Or is he, or him slipping backwards, is this helping him save fuel? Is that what he's doing? While everyone else is burning their stuff up here. As side by side for the lead, Josiah Robinson on Grorich. Robinson had it at the line by 4/100ths over that 78. Side by side for third is Hightower going to go at Creed. And he is going to hold on to that third position, potentially, unless Creed can get by. Doesn't look like it's going to happen into the tunnel turn. Grorich, on the other hand, is going to take the race lead away from Robinson, and Hightower could sneak through to that second position, and it looks like he will. Coming around for 6 laps to go, this time by here at Pocono Raceway in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. Hightower trying to chase down Ben Grorich, and we're just waiting to see if it even matters. We're waiting to see who can make it to the end on fuel. Some cars pit coming to lap 16 while they were still on lap 15 just prior to halfway. And the cycle went all the way to lap 17. Actually, the start of 18. As Hightower looks to the inside of Grorich for the race lead, he's going to take it away. For now, we're coming to 5 laps to go. Joey Hightower now in position for his second win of the season. Won at Kansas earlier this season. And he is looking to do it again here at Pocono if he can make it all the way to the end. 5 laps to go. What an interesting way to kick off the double-headed weekend for the Cabela Cup Series. Nothing like a fuel mileage race. If everything goes clean and green for the Independence 500 tomorrow, as it has for the Wawa Pennsylvania 400, fuel and tire wear wouldn't, well, tire wear probably, but fuel wouldn't even be something to worry about. You just take the 2 cycles and make it to the end from there. A surprisingly clean race here at the Pocono Raceway. We saw 2 cautions in the Hers Pennsylvania 500 last year, and it has been caution free now through 28 laps, as we now have 4 laps to go. Joey Hightower, Ben Grorch, Boston Jones, Darian Arnsdorf, Beverly Creed. That's the top 5 right now as they head down Long Pond straightaway here. Headed for the treacherous tunnel turn. Boston Joe's going to take a look at the inside of Grorch through the tunnel turn. And that uncharted driver not quite going to take that second position away. As Grorch beat him back to the gas out of the tunnel turn through turn 3 now. You've got to be on the inside. Jones took a look down low. And he may have some help from Arnsdorf now. He's going to take a look at 3 wide now. Is that 14? Taking a huge dive on the inside of both. He's looking for a 2-for-1 special. Off into turn number 1. And Jones looking to split him right up the middle. Grorch slipping back on the top side. That didn't work out for Arnsdorf, but it looked like it may work out for Boston Jones. Grorch trying to work the top side on that 57. And is he going to manage it? Is Hightower even going to hold on there in that 8? He leads this thing. We got to make sure he's able to make it to the end. Doesn't look like anybody's going to come down to the pit road this time, but we will keep an eye on if it happens. 2 laps to go in the Wawa Pennsylvania 400 here at Pocono. 5 miles, all that remain. Hightower, Jones, Arnsdorf, Robinson, Creed. And side by side, Williams, Grorch, Silverpoint, Kukulon, Biller. That is the top 10 right now. And Jones gives the big boot scoot boogie to Joey Hightower there going into the tunnel corner. A big bump and run there for Boston Jones on Hightower. He takes the lead on the inside. Arnsdorf going to get underneath him. We're coming to the white flag this time by. And Arnsdorf looking for a second win on the season. The driver of that 14. And looks like they're going to make it home one more time around Pocono Raceway. Arnsdorf trying to block 3 lanes at once as Creed takes the dive on Robinson on the inside for that second position. Boston Jones slips backwards. Hightower there looking for 4th position. Kip Silverpoint looking for a potential career best finish. Down the back straightaway there. Headed off into the tunnel turn. And then the flat turn 3 is all that remains for Darian Arnsdorf on a late race charge. He didn't dominate this one like he did at Richmond, but he showed up when it mattered the most, and off the final turn 3, he's going to kick off the double-headed weekend here at Pocono with a win in the Wawa Pennsylvania 400. Darian Arnsdorf, 2nd career Cabela's Cup Series victory. And thankfully, we ran a safe race. Mitchell Collins, though, finishing 2 laps down as a result of whatever happened to that JD Sports Dodge. But it didn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Well, unless the points is concerned. But it did. I guess it did matter in the grand scheme of things. But not for the race lead, as Darian Arnsdorf shocks everyone with a late race charge. And he wins here. Race 1 of 2 this weekend in the Cabela's Cup Series here in the Wawa Pennsylvania 400. And this could be what he needs to vault back up to the championship lead. Trey Smith finishing in 19th. And it certainly looks that way. Looks like he's coming out of this first race of the weekend with the points lead for that Procore Chevrolet team. Great job by Arnsdorf. We'll take a look at your full race finishing results here at Pocono. Arnsdorf wins ahead of Beverly Creed, Boston Jones, Josiah Robinson, Joey Hightower, Kip Silverpoint, Ben Grorch, Kanan Biller, Owen Miles, and Andrew Williams. That's your top 10 here at the end of the Wawa Pennsylvania 400. We'll scroll through the rest of your field. The only car finishing off of the lead lap, Mitchell Collins, 2 laps down, but sure, Nathan Smith sure tried 23.5 seconds off the pace. Just an abysmal showing for that driver in the 84. But Darren Osdorf, what a job he did here in the final few laps of this one, sticking it to him and stealing it away with a lap and a half to go, and he held on for dear life. And with his second win of the season, he's going to be coming out of here with the points lead in the driver standings. We'll take a look at your driver standings now, plus your owner standings, and we'll wrap it up here for the Wawa Pennsylvania 400. We'll see you tomorrow for the Independence 500 here at Pocono. Until then, y'all take care, stay safe, and have a good one.
Welcome to the NOFSRL.